As you think through budgeting revenue, you realize that while this is the first or one of the first numbers you set in the budget, you must start making assumptions about the whole customer journey. A series of events must happen before a customer buys your product. We've talked about elasticity and pricing. Some other examples include marketing and advertising efforts, sales staffing and expenses. Do you budget these first or sales volumes first? Welcome to yet another iterative loop in budgeting. Some will start with the company actions or expenses that lead to sales. Others will project sales and then think through the company actions that should lead to those customer actions. These costs are fixed, for example, marketing, step fixed, for example, sales commissions that step up at certain sales levels, or variable, for example, sales commissions as a constant percent of sales. You can see once again how starting with revenue creates costs. Once these costs are developed, they can cause changes in revenue. This is another iterative loop in the budgeting process. From an internal logic standpoint, if you're budgeting an increase in units, then you'll likely need to budget a decrease in prices or an increase in marketing or sales. That assumes a static share of a static market. Your strategic planning before the budgeting process should also address assumptions about the size of the market and your share of it. You may grow sales due completely to being a growing market or because you're gaining market share. The strategic assumptions and decisions just listed lead to assumptions in a well defined customer journey map or sales funnel. Not all leads become customers. Customers often don't buy during the first contact with you. The concept of a journey highlights that it takes many steps over time for a lead to become a customer. The concept of a funnel highlights that only a fraction of leads become customers. Let's look at a sales funnel example that also shows a customer journey. The Digital Insurance Policy Company, a fictional company like all the examples I use in this course, uses search engine advertising, SEA, to get leads. For every 100 times they show up in a search, 5 of those people click their ad. When they click the ad, they are taken to a sales page that talks about their great rates and asks the person to fill out some information for an insurance quote. Only 3% of the people who see the sales page enter information for the quote. Of those that get a quote, 20% buy insurance with an average policy amount of $1,000. The funnel shows that 100,000 impressions leads to only 30 policies. Still, at 1,000 policies, they make $30,000 in revenue. This shows how many assumptions are made in the customer funnel before we can get to the units, in other words, policies sold. Each of these assumptions will have to be developed over time during ad campaigns. Lacking that historical data, they would have to use industry average data. All of these rates can be modeled at different rates for scenario or sensitivity testing. Digital insurance could set its target revenue and then back into how much it would have to spend in SEA to get that revenue. This would be using a revenue budget to set the marketing budget. They may decide they only have $5,000 to spend on marketing. They could then calculate how much revenue they should expect to make. This is a marketing budget informing the revenue budget. In this example, the cost per click is $2, so the total ad spend is $10,000. The return on ad spend, ROAS, in other words, revenue divided by ad spend, is 300%. ROAS may be a key indicator they want to monitor because it sets a major assumption in the budget. For example, marketing expense or revenue income. If ROAS differs during the year, they can identify which rates in the customer journey differ from their budgeted assumptions.